doing so many services, and he has been traveling abroad as well, preaching to youth, preaching to congregation, mentoring, uh, doing temple management and so many services, book distribution, counseling. So, he's a very senior devotee, and we also want to welcome him in our group with a loud Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Can we say Hari Bol together?
Hari
That's
Bol.
how we.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Okay, so I will not take much time here. Let's start. Okay, please. And you all, if you have any questions, also please feel free to ask.
Nice to meet all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So we will chant some prayers and then we'll begin today's discussion. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Prasharani Devi Shesha Shunyavadi Paschati
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shiva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare.
So I'm pretty excited to have a online class such early in the morning. My earliest class online was at 5 a.m. once. That was when I was giving a talk for few devotees who were in the Caribbean islands in Guyana. For them it was evening time, so for me it was early morning.
So your voice is not clear. It's
Not from different places. Some are from.
He's saying my voice is not clear. You're not able to hear me?
No, I'm able to hear, but it's not that clear.
Not clear.
Is it
Okay,
with everyone or just I'm facing this problem?
No, I can hear it. Okay, I can hear.
Yeah, I can also hear it well. Yeah.
I can also hear.
Take it.
I mean, as I speak, I gained some momentum, so you're able to hear more clearly. I think so. Early morning, cold in Pune. So anyways, what I'm saying is, I think you all are from different places, right?
Yes.
Because I was first intrigued when Hari told me that, he has a class with all his batchmates. I said, when? He said, morning 6:30. Sunday 6:30.
Yes.
That's a strange time for our class. Must be really very enthusiastic group. Morning 6:30. But thank you for joining so early in the morning, and it's very nice. I'll begin with a small thing, because early morning people get up and take baths. So I remember once this famous episode in Mahabharata where the Yaksha Prashna comes, where Yudhishthira Maharaj asks various questions by Yaksha. Yamaraj comes as Yaksha. Cutting the whole story short, we know how the 5 brothers were in exile and they were very thirsty. And Yudhishthira Maharaj summoned Bhima to go and check out if somewhere nearby a reservoir of water is there. Bhimsen goes and he finds a beautiful reservoir of water. He's thirsty, he's about to drink the water. And then there's a heavenly voice which comes, hey, don't drink this water, it belongs to me. If you want to drink this water, you have to answer my question. Bhimsen did not care for that voice, he just drank the water. And then he fell down dead. So almost dead, like lifeless. And then eventually all the brothers came, and finally Yudhishthir Maharaj came. Yudhishthir Maharaj was first, he was about to drink water, and the heavenly the voice said, divine voice, hey, you have to answer my questions, otherwise your destiny will be same as your brothers. And Yudhishthir Maharaj had a lot of patience, so he said, okay, what are your questions? And he didn't ask one or two questions, he asked many questions. So one question he asked, Yudhishthir Maharaj is, which is the best bath? Which is the best bath? Bathing, स्नान करना. सबसे अच्छा स्नान कौन सा है? So, I mean, if you ask this question to someone in today's world, which is the best bath? Someone may say, shower bath or this bath or that bath. कोई अगर vacation जाके आया तो had a waterfall के नीचे स्नान किया तो waterfall bath was very fresh. Or maybe swimming pool or whatever, So we will think of a bath like that. But Yudhishthir Maharaj answered very interesting answer he gave. He said, the best bath is to take bath in the pool of absolute truth. And Yasha said, very nice answer, thank you. And he went to the next question. So, see what happens is, even Shankaracharya, the great proponent of Vedic doctrine, he mentions that, every day in the morning or daytime we take bath. What is the purpose of taking bath? The purpose of taking bath is we cleanse ourselves, right? You see, when we are in this world, and even though many times we see that we are not much, we may not go in a traffic down and in a dusty area, but still, just even being in an office area and covered from all sides and in AC environment, still we can see that our body gets dust. A lot of male jama ho jata hai sharir. So we take bath to cleanse our body, right? Every day we do it. No matter we may have the best of environment, but the body becomes smelly. So every time we require to take bath to cleanse of our body. And we sometimes feel why we got so dirty, मैं कहीं बाहर गया नहीं था. Just that we are in this material world has so much of pollution, so much of dust. Just interacting with this world, we associate with so much of pollution, so then we have to take bath. So Shankaracharya mentioned a very beautiful thing while quoting the Mahatmya of the Bhagavad Gita. He mentions that Malini Mochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine Sakrit Gita Amritam Stanam Samsara Malanash. He says that, quoting this beautiful verse from the Padma Puran, that Malini Mochanam, just like we take bath every day, Malini Mochanam Pumsam, to overcome, to remove all the mala from the body. Similarly, while living in this world, just as the body is coming in touch with this world and all the mala comes out, we don't know how it came. Similarly, the mind also is interacting with the modes, with people in different modes. And what happens with their interaction? The mind also gets affected. The mind gets affected with the other modes, people who are more influential. And the mind will also get contaminated. Just like we take bath to cleanse our body from this mala, impurities. So we need to also bathe our mind to remove those mala, impurities, influences. And Shankaracharya quotes, he said that you can take a bath with water to remove the mala from the body. But which water or which soap you will use to clean the mind? Is there any soap in the market? I can check out maybe next time we go for shopping. You can ask the guy there, or you can check on the Flipkart or Amazon also. Soap for the mind. There is no soap for the mind because all the soap is for the external purpose. So Shankaracharya mentions that the soap or the bathing for the mind is bathe the intellect, bathe the mind with the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita. That's what Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying, bathing in the lake of absolute truth, associating with wisdom of the absolute truth of the Vedas, of the Gita, and through that wisdom we cleanse ourselves. So this is what I thought. I'll just begin with a small introduction about how in the morning we take bath. So thank you. I think so many of you have morning there. I'm not sure from which place you are all logged in, but you're also bathing in the intellect, bathing your intellect with Bhagavad Gita. So thanks for joining today morning. Hare Krishna.
Some are joining
Hare
from
Krishna.
Canada,
Joining from Canada,
some are joining from US,
US,
some are joining from Japan,
Japan.
some are in India, like all across Calcutta, Bangalore, and Bombay. And like
Thank you for joining from wherever you are.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For those who are in Canada, they have this Saturday night now, right? US, Canada, Saturday night. And others are on Sunday. Japan is Sunday afternoon. Okay, so we begin our
Prabhuji,
discussion.
can you speak without headphone? I think I mean, though we can hear it, but it's not that clear voice. Hang हो गया क्या?
Please, अभी आ गया now. अभी Shashi Manohar is suggesting that I don't use the headphone. Then it will be more clear for you. Let's try that. Or what do you say? Shashi, just hear what he is saying.
Hare Krishna, is it clear
Hare
or
Krishna.
no? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay. But
we can-
पहले जैसे क्लियर, जैसे पहले क्लैरिटी आती थी, वैसे नहीं आ रही है.
रूम में थोड़ा इको है, शायद रूम में थोड़ा
हाँ,
Echo
इको
type.
है, इसलिए
There's
इसलिए
something
थोड़ा
because over this service.
क्योंकि क्या है ना, ये लैपटॉप में स्पीकर नहीं है, तो ये हेडफोन हैज टू बी यूज्ड.
वायर्ड है क्या? वायर्ड ईयरफोन, दैट विल बी फार बेटर.
वायर्ड भी नहीं है.
ठीक है, लेट्स कंटिन्यू.
ठीक है.
तो एक काम करता हूँ, फोन से कर लेते हैं. फोन से में भी
हाँ, वो बेटर रहेगा.
कोई
फोन से
लैपटॉप
कर लो.
हटा के आई कैन डायल इन फ्रॉम फोन. 2 minutes, आई विल कम बैक. So we'll do it via this phone. क्योंकि मैं पहले फोन से करता हूँ. They are saying कि फोन से क्लियर रहता है.
ठीक है. कौन से? इसको रखिए ना, इसका क्या कीजिए, ये जो है ना, ये निकाल लीजिए, ये है ना.
You can keep the video on the laptop. That will be easy.
तो वीडियो तो फोन पर भी ऑन हो सकता है.
हाँ, बट उसमें वो छोटी स्क्रीन रहती है ना, तो उसमें देखना मुश्किल.
Hare Krishna, can you hear?
Yeah, it's much better now.
Very good.
So it is better. Now you can hear better, Shashi?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, now it's better.
Much better, yes.
So we are watching from the laptop and we are speaking in the phone.
Yes.
So should we restart? Or
No,
should
no.
we continue?
No, वो सुनाई तो पड़ा ही था.
We heard.
Okay, so we'll start our the place from where we left last time. We all left. Where is it? कहाँ पे रहो? Share करो. Share करने कुछ क्या? They have their own. Okay, perfect. You also have to speak now. Right? How you speak? Only I'm speaking. It's okay. It's okay.
We can hear Chandrisha also.
Oh, wonderful. That's good.
Yeah.
So we are on text number 6 today, bro. Where we are?
Text number 6 we did. Text number 7.
7. Okay, thank you. So yeah, so we will recite together.
Yeah.
So let's recite together text number 7. This is the Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 14, the 3 modes of material nature, text number 7. Rajo raga
Ragatmakam Vidhi Trishna Sangam Samadbhavam Tannibandhati Kaunteya Karma Sangena Dehinam.
Yes. The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. The son of Kunti. And because of this, one is bound to material fruitive activities. So this particular verse is focusing on the mode of passion. So, purport. This is called the mode of passion. And when the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. He wants to enjoy sense gratification. For sense gratification, a man in mode of passion wants some honor in society or in the nation. And he wants to have a happy family with nice children, wife and house. These are the products of the mode of passion. As long as one is hankering after these things, he has to work very hard. Therefore, it is clearly stated here that he becomes associated with the fruits of his activities and thus becomes bound by such activities in order to please his wife, children, and society. And to keep up his prestige, one has to work. Therefore, the whole material world is more or less in a mode of passion. Modern civilization is considered to be advanced in the standards of mode of passion. Formerly, the advanced condition was considered to be in the mode of goodness. If there is no liberation for those in the mode of goodness, what of those who are entangled in the mode of passion? So we can see here, as we are reading through this different purports, we are getting an insight about how this world is workings of the world. So when we join a corporate company, a place, eventually first we are given a training, or we are given an idea of how the work atmosphere of that place is. We need to know the atmosphere, the workplace atmosphere, so that we can gel in and we can work with that particular environment. Similarly, in this material world, in this world which we stay, we also need to know how this world works. And unless we know how it works, we will not be very settled, or we won't be able to get benefit or work very positively in this particular world. So, and the purpose of the scriptures is to give us a clear idea, black and white, what is what. The application part, like for example, the medicine, the science of medicine is there. The science of medicine means everything is taught there. Yesterday I was hearing one devotee doctor here, he was mentioning that how that in this body, if you ask, every body part there is doctor available. If you have some problem with the teeth, then there is a dentist. If you have a problem with the bones, there is orthopedist. If you have a problem with your eye, there is ophthalmist. If you have a problem with your heart, there is cardiologist. Right? So if you have a problem for every part of the body, there is a doctor. And every doctor who is doctor of that part has done his MD. So first 4 or 5 years of MBBS, then study hard and get admission in PG, and then 2 years of intense MD. That means there is a lot of patients available for it. Otherwise, why will do MD in orthopedics if there is not much of patients, right? So we show that in this world, this body, every part is prone to give us trouble, prone to give us problem, and therefore there is a solution available. Now, in this case, we need to know the medical science will teach in the books everything about how the functions fail, the body functions, and how it has to be revived. So the scriptures give us black and white understanding about how this material world works. But an expert person who knows the scriptures, he takes the scriptures and applies in people's daily life, helps them, coaches. So scriptures, like for example, scriptures will directly tell, oh, this world is full of suffering. It doesn't mean that the scriptures are very negative. No, the books are always giving us the knowledge. Now we need to know how to apply that knowledge. That's very important. So that application part is required for an expert trainer, an expert coach is there. So there is a book. Along with the book, we need a coach to help us understand the book as well. So we see that how in the different religious systems we have in this world, different religions teach the codes of dharma, the codes of scriptures, codes of God. Now, you see, the Vedas are designed very beautifully by Vasudev at the beginning of the Kali Yuga. Now, Vedas, the first purpose of the Vedas is to teach us how to nicely live in this world. That's why when we refer to Puranas or Itihasas or Vedantas, then what happens? It gives the dharma, the grahastha dharma, the dharma of how to live with one's family. Before that, they will teach us the psychology of a woman, psychology of a man, the upbringing of children, and how to interact with society in general, because everyone is different. And then once we refer Vedas, how to nicely live in this world, it's like a manual, right? When you buy any gadget, you get a manual. You refer a manual, and then what happens? You know how to use the gadget properly. You can use the gadget by your own understanding also. You can figure it out by trial and error. That's also the many people do that. But if you refer a manual, it becomes much more easier to use it. And even when the gadget starts giving problem, you can actually refer the manual and check it out. What is the issue? Now, the Veda's first purpose is to teach us how to nicely live this world. And once we learn how to nicely live in this world, we have a tenure. Everything here has expiry date. You buy any product, there is expiry. The body also is having expiry date. The body is going to burn out. So many of us think, no, we want to stay in this body eternal. Well, when we are young, we are happy. We may have that kind of slogan. But as we become old, you see many people, when they become very old, 80 plus, 90 plus, they say, कभी मौत आएगी, they always say, बहुत हो गया. Sometimes they will say of frustration because the body is just not cooperating with them. Even to lift a hand, they have to think twice. Sit too much, you can't get up. Stand too much, you can't sit. So every organ has an expiry date. So similarly, the Vedas first teaches how to nicely live in this material world. But eventually, the Vedas' ultimate purpose also how to nicely leave this material, go out after executing all our dharmas. So here we find in this particular purport, in the mode of passion, the Prabhupada is making us understand that how this material world can be a binding. If you are not, it's like when you are traveling on a road, you need to be very much aware of how the traffic is and how the speed has to be used and how to go and drive the car. Because that knowledge is essential. Otherwise, what will happen? You may not be able to reach your destination on time. Like yesterday, I came from one other temple in Pune to this place. So I saw a driver, he was not taking the regular route. So I asked him, why are you not taking the regular route? He said, Prabhu, दोपहर का टाइम यहाँ बहुत ट्रैफिक है, तो मैं दूर से जा रहा हूँ, किलोमीटर ज्यादा है लेकिन समय पहुंच जाए, यहाँ से जा रहा हूँ किलोमीटर कम है लेकिन कब पहुंचेंगे बता. So I understood that he's intelligent to maneuver. Similarly, the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita, and they give us this is the path. But when we refer to people who have read this book, who have understood this book, who can practically coach us, then they give us also directions. Okay, see, this is a binding factor. I agree. When you go and stay in the material world, when you come together, woman, man comes together, passion hota hai, attachment hota hai, children hote hai. So the regular course of action is to be attached. And it's quite obvious. But the coach will tell you that even though this may be there, but if you know the purpose of life, you can maneuver, and within that attachment, you can also be aware of the attachment and maneuver yourself at least at this point. So here we see the whole idea of how the passion works. Passion just, as we see here, passion is born of unlimited desires and longings. And desires are such, that there is no end to the idea of being. There is no end to one's desire. When we were in college, our desires were something else. When we graduated from the college, we had some other desires, and then we got a job placement. Then we had some other desires. So every time we see our desires keep changing. There is no end to desires. Even the best of person whom we aim as our role model in our corporate ladder, I want to become like that. You go to him, he'll also have a desire. I have to go this, I have to go more high. So desires and longings never stop. The mind is full of desires. How many desires? Unlimited. You just cannot count. I was reading a particular book. It was mentioned this point that that if you want to write down all your desires on a piece of paper, it's impossible to do. And they give an analogy that our mind is like a if the mind becomes like a paper, which paper is as big as the sky, and if you have a pen on which you will write down, paper on which you write all the desires, and that paper has supply of ink, which is as big as the ocean. Oceanic supply of ink. So you have a pen, good pen, and the good pen also has a nib, fountain pen, a nib. That nib is very minuscule. You can write in atomic size. Sometimes you have less paper, you write very small things, very small, because you don't have paper. But you have enough paper, but you write very minuscule. So they mentioned that you may start writing all your desires with unlimited supply of ink as minuscule as an atom, and keep writing. The ocean may get dry out, the paper may end, the nib will break, but your desires will not still go. They will still there. Someone may ask, प्रभु इतना desires मेरे मन में नहीं है. अभी नहीं होगा. At this time, prominently we may have certain desires which are very prominent in our life. ये करना है. But as soon as you go outside, you see something else. Then suddenly, छोले भटूरे खाया नहीं मैंने बहुत दिन से. Because that chole bhature desire is there. Suddenly, the connection comes and it just pops out. So there are so many desires. So scriptures mention that passion means there is a lot of desires. So this is the nature of passion. But passion is also important because unless passion is there, there won't be work. Right? So the scripture is not saying that this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Scripture is there how you have to use it properly at right time. Nothing is bad, nothing is completely bad. It all depends on how you utilize that. So this is what I thought I will touch on the mode of passion thing. There are much more beautiful things coming up in the next purport. I will not take any questions at this time. Let's go to the next purport, and if something comes up, then you can always raise your hand and you can ask some questions. We're on text number 8 now. Let's read together. Tamastu ajnanajam
बुद्धिमोहनं
mohanam
सर्वदेहिनां
sarvadehinam
सर्वदेहिनां
pramadadasya
प्रमादस्य
Alasya
प्रमादालस्य
nidra vistanti bharat.
बध्नाति भारत
Badnati Bharata. Okay, can one of you read this translation?
Yes, yes. O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness born of ignorance is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. Purport, should I read, sir?
Yes.
In this verse of specific application of the word tu is very significant. This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of the embodied soul. The mode of ignorance is just the opposite of the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what, but the mode of ignorance is just the opposite. Everyone under the spell of the mode of ignorance becomes mad, and a madman cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of the mode of ignorance is started in the Vedic literature. Vastu yathatmaya jnana varkam vipar yaya jnanakam toma. Under the spell of ignorance, one cannot understand a thing as it is. For example, everyone can see that his grandfather has died and therefore he will also die. Man is mortal. The children that he conceives will also die. So death is sure. Still, people are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. Such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. They are not even active like man who is controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than what is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are the symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. Have you finished?
Thank you, Amit. Thank you, Amit, for reading that. So we are now discussing on the mode of ignorance part.
I am not able
So,
to see the video. Everybody is able to see the video of Prabhuji?
Yes, we can.
I am on Chandresh Pandey's.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
So, yeah. So we were discussing on this particular purport of ignorance. Previous was the passion part, and this is ignorance. So ignorance causes delusion of all living. Delusion means people are confused. People do not know what is right, what is wrong, and as a result of that, they are more or less whatever they feel good, they do it. Right? Nowadays we hear more about this. Whatever you feel good, you do it. But sometimes whatever you feel good may not necessarily be really good for us or even good for people around us. So mode of ignorance causes delusion of all living entities, and the result of this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditions. In the mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what. But mode of ignorance is just opposite. Everyone under the spell of mode of ignorance becomes mad, and madman cannot understand what is what. Instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. The definition of mode of ignorance is very clear. The spell of ignorance, one cannot understand things. So this is something about the mode of ignorance mentioned in this particular purport of Srila Prabhupada. Any questions so far on this passion, ignorance? Otherwise, I would love to go ahead and cover a little more of ignorance, passion, goodness together later. In future purpose.
Prabhuji, you said passion is also important. It's not bad. Can you elaborate a bit more on that? When how to differentiate when it's becoming bad and versus when it's going in the right direction?
See, anything created in this material world cannot be bad, right? It has a usage. Like for example, let's say example of ignorance. Ignorance is someone ignorance is bad, but for sleep, ignorance is important. Otherwise, how can you sleep? People take nowadays people some people don't get sleep right, so they take medicines to induce sleep. Right? What is the definition of good sleep? Good sleep is ऐसा नींद है पता ही चला नहीं। सो गया सीधा 6 घंटा 7 घंटे बाद। That's called pure ignorance. No understanding of where you were. Sometimes in the night we get up, oh, I'm my own house. So sometimes that is essential for the body to shut off so that we can again get up and become fresh and become active. But everything has its usage. Now in the daytime, while you're working online or you're going to your job, if you go in ignorance, then that's not good. That's not a time to be ignorant. Mode of passion. Daytime is a time for work. And someone is in market. He is going into business. Then he can't be like sitting there and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. मैंने 16 माला बचा है, Hare Krishna. अरे 16 माला का टाइम होता है सुबह का भी. Many times even in our temple also, we are many people who are our staff. We have our restaurant, we have our gift shop. And we make a point, we tell them, see, you are all devotees, you're coming to temple. But don't think that while you are working, you are chant Hare Krishna. वो chanting घर पे करना है. यहाँ पर अभी काउंटर पे खड़ा रहना है, कोई आएगा, उसको बेचना है, उससे पैसा लेना है. You have to be alert, right? So, see, if you see the whole day, the night is ignorance, the morning time is goodness, and the afternoon time, the daytime is passion. So, as per the modes, the body works, and we also work as per this. The morning time is goodness, like most of the world is not woke up, or they're just waking up. And early morning sunrise is beautiful time for meditation, to go in nature, do a exercise, yoga, and all these things. These are goodness activities, tools. And in daytime, you can't do meditation in the daytime when there is so much traffic and there is so much of halla gulla in the home or in the outside world. I mean, we chanting can be done anytime, no issue. Puja can be done anytime. But उसका concentration नहीं मिलेगा, perfect नहीं मिलेगा. पहले के जमाने में पहले के जमाने में लोग ना सुबह उठ के पढ़ाई करते थे, right? But now you can see the times are changing. People like to study in the night time. So the study the point is for study you require an environment which is very silent or which is very conducive where no one is disturbing you in concept. So that is the atmosphere of study. Of course, the same study if you do in the early morning hours, you get more and grasp more. But some other things are now different in this material world, so people study in the night time. But what I'm saying is how different modes help you in your activities. So your spiritual activities are more conducive in a goodness atmosphere. Your work, your job is more conducive when there is passion. And your sleep is more conducive when your atmosphere is ignorance. You also say when you want to sleep, you have to make sure all the lights are off, right? That's ignorance. You can sleep nicely. So everything has a purpose. This material world is designed with a purpose. We have to utilize our time as per the modes which are present. So when we are going in a spiritual place, like I went to Vrindavan just recently. Vrindavan, I went to Balsam, a place where Krishna and Radharani's beautiful pastimes are there. Oh, very very simple. You go to such a beautiful place, very deep place. Passion is not a question there. You have to be goodness. The place is like that. Vibrations are like that. And suddenly after that, then I came to take a flight in Delhi. As soon as I came in Delhi, immediately passion was prominent, right? Now, even though I want to chant some extra rounds, I could chant very easily in Barsana and Vrindavan. But I was chanting Hare Krishna, but while chanting, I was looking here and there. I was distracted a lot. Why? Because the atmosphere was very passionate. तो हर चीज के लिए हर एक समय होता है, उस समय के हिसाब से काम करना. Yes, Oji, you wanted to say something? I heard someone.
Yes, Roger. So आप बोल रहे हैं कि अगर मोड्स एक्ट करते तो हम कार्य करते हैं, लेकिन ऐसा बोला जाता है कि भक्ति में ये मोड्स का प्रभाव कम होने लगता है, या फिर भक्ति जब मोड्स हमारे पर एक्ट नहीं करते हैं देन वी बिकम एलिजिबल फॉर लिबरेशन. तो क्वेश्चन ये है कि अब काम तो करना ही है, संसार में सोना भी है, तो हमको तो मोड्स चाहिए, मोड्स का हेल्प लेना है. तो हाउ कैन अ डिवोटी हु इज बियॉन्ड मोड्स एक्ट इन दिस वर्ल्ड? Or for example, Arjuna only, if he has to fight, he was a devotee, but still he should have been in passion, then only he would have fought. ये थोड़ा reconcile कैसे करें इस बात को?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Sorry,
Roger.
a phone call came, so we got disconnected. So you were mentioning about this point. If say I didn't hear the whole question of yours, but I got the gist. So I'll answer you still. Is that Arjuna and Hanuman, Prabhupada quotes in a beautiful one purport that they are the people who have been the main acting force in the two greatest battles, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Hanumanji was the man of the match in Ramayana, and Arjuna was in Mahabharata. When both are fighting, they are not fighting like a mode of goodness. You just not fighting mode of goodness. How is possible? You have to be passionate because you have to hurt the other person. Can someone goodness hurt other person? Person goodness just not hurt anyone. Passion, there is chance of combat, chivalry, and courage, and fight. Kshatriya is more of passion. So it is not that passion cannot be used in God's service. Hanuman and Arjuna used passion in God's service and progress. We need to know that passion and ignorance also has a usage in bhakti, but we need to get proper guidance of how to use it. If you don't know how to use it, we may get in.
म्यूट हो गया, म्यूट पर है. You're on mute, Roger.
प्रभु जी you're on. हेलो प्रभु जी.
कॉल करता हूँ चंद्रेश को. अरे वो म्यूट, प्रभु जी म्यूट पर है, कुछ सुनाई नहीं पड़ रहा.
माइक्रोफोन की बैटरी डाउन हो गई होगी.
हाँ,
यही कॉल किया मैंने.
मैंने उसको बोला.
yeah. Sandesh?
Now you can hear?
Yes.
So I'm extremely sorry. Because of me, he is getting out of phone call. Because I have another program now. So they are calling him. And because I'm speaking from his phone, so when the phone calls come, I get distracted. So I'm seeing you from the laptop, but speaking from his phone.
Mhm.
So anyway, so okay, let's start from where I can remember where I was. What I'm saying is, fighting is a passionate activity. A person in goodness cannot fight. I remember हमारे मंदिर में बहुत साल पहले की बात है, एक एक काफी चप्पल गायब हो रहे थे, बहुत सारे शूज they were getting lost. Someone was stealing those shoes. And we didn't have that time systems of shoe store and all those. We were very small time. So we knew someone was coming and stealing those shoes. And there was one time when one person came with a very expensive shoe and he went for darshan, came out, shoe was gayab. And he made a big ruckus. He said, क्या है आप लोग अभी जूता लिया? उस समय वो 2000 का जूता था, उस समय बहुत 10-15 साल की बात है. तो हम लोग कौन है, कौन चोरी कर रहा है? And finally that thief was caught. हमने एक पूरा एक बिल्डिंग लगाया था उसके लिए, उसको पकड़ लिया हमने. तो पकड़ लिया तो हमारे कुछ नए जो भक्त थे उनको पुरानी यादें आ गई, चलो आज साफ नहीं हुआ वो दिन, ऐसे उसको पीटा, बाप रे, जबरदस्त पीटा उसको. हमारे मंदिर में एक सीनियर डिवोटी थे, अभी भी है, उनका नाम बताऊंगा नहीं. इतने मोड़ा गुडनेस में बात भी करते थे, हम शांत से बात करते. तो वो आगे, आप लोग क्यों मार रहे हैं इसका? मारना नहीं चाहिए, भक्तों को मारना नहीं चाहिए किसी को. तो प्रभु जी ये भक्त, ये तो इसने चोरी किया, भक्तों को इतना परेशान किया. तो प्रभु जी अच्छा चोरी किया, उसको दंड देना चाहिए, शास्त्र में लिखा है. एकदम प्रेम से बता रहे, इसे तो मार रहे. तो फिर उसने जाके प्रभु जी ने उसको पकड़ लिया, ऐसा नहीं करते, हाँ अगली बार से मत करना. और ऐसा एक छोटा झापड़ मार दिया. अब ये गुडनेस व्यक्ति है, ये इसके पास शक्ति नहीं है, ये क्या कर सकता है? तो हमने कहा प्रभु ठीक है, अभी आपका हो गया प्रवचन, बगल में हो जाएगी, अभी इनको हम डील करते हैं. थोड़ा और उनको प्रसाद दे दिया हमने और बाद में पुलिस में भर्ती करते. अगली बार से आया नहीं प्रभु. तो पर्सन इन गुडनेस जस्ट कैन नॉट फाइट लाइक दैट. फाइट मतलब कॉम्बैट मतलब पैशन होना चाहिए. तो अर्जुन और हनुमान जी ने पैशन को under the guidance of Lord Ram and Krishna engaged and they progressed in Lord. So passion can also be used in Lord's service if you know how to do it, if you're guided. See, passion also involves relationship with man and woman, but that can also be used if proper guidance is there. You know, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, "Kamosmi Bharatarshava." Lust or sex life is me, Krishna says. If under proper guidance it is utilized, we can use even the attachment, the attraction principle for propagating Krishna consciousness, for elevating our life. Like in Bhagavatam, there is a beautiful description of the third canto about the marriage of Kardama Muni and Devavati. So Devavati is born as a prince to Swayambhu Manu. Swayambhu Manu is looking for a good match for his daughter. And someone tells him that this Kardama Muni is very austere and he's also looking for marriage, the best match. So दोनों का शादी हो गया, कृष्ण ने अरेंज किया. So this discussion is going on with two great realities. One is Maitri Muni, हरिद्वार में बैठे हो और वो पूरी तरह से अनासक्त है. और विदुर ने अभी पूरा राज्य छोड़ दिया था, वो तो हस्तिनापुर सब छोड़ दिया, वो भी पूरी तरह विरक्त हो गए. तो घूमते घूमते आ गए, हरिद्वार आ गए और उनके विषय में प्रश्नावली चली, भागवत चल रहा है. तो विदुर और मैत्री मुनि के डिस्कशन में मैत्री मुनि बता रहे, ही इज सेइंग अबाउट हाउ स्वयंभू मनु's daughter Devavati got married to Kardama. Now married हो गया, तो विदुर is asking the next question, what happened in their married life? Now this is a strange question. Why should two people who are sadhus ask about what happened after they got married? That's none of their business, right? Marriage में क्या शादी हुआ, बाद में they came together, they had children. But Bhagavatam says they both knew because they were coming together for a higher purpose. Hearing about their married life is also very clear. And their married life is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So while attachment is there in married life, man, woman come together, children, all that is fact of life. But under proper guidance, the married life also becomes a bona fide and it causes one to liberation also. It can cause one to elevate one's consciousness. One can be a better human being. One can be a good devotee of Krishna. Is it okay, Shashi? Prabhu?
यस यस. बट ये बोलते हैं भगवान ने अर्जुन को बोले निस्तैर्यो मतलब यू गो above the modes of nature. अगर वो
हम्म,
ऊपर चला गया तो काम कैसे करेगा इस संसार में?
तो वो ग्रेजुअल होगा ना, ऐसे अचानक ऊपर कैसे जाएगा? It has to be gradually. Right? And you see how the varnashram is also defined. Even you know what to speak of varnashram, you see the work system. When you go join any corporate company, they always freshers को लेते हैं वो लोग, और top position के लिए experience लगे. लेकिन after some time, then even if an experienced guy is there, then he has to retire. And they will have a nice farewell party. Thank you, sir, for being with us. चलो next, right? तो रिटायरमेंट का टाइम आता है, क्यों? क्योंकि कितना भी एक्सपीरियंस व्यक्ति होगा, उसका बाद में ना एक समय आएगा, he is not able to deal with the pressures of corporate life. He is not able to understand what is the latest about happening in this world, how to get results. तो ये सब चीजें जमेगा. Therefore there is a retired life for every person who is working today. So it's very gradual. As soon as you retire, then immediately you come out of the job, then you focus on activity. So why the system is there? The reason is that gradually people, as per the modes, as per their body age, they have to go through different changes. So when Krishna says rise above modes, it doesn't mean that you just play, just like you go to lift, you are on 6th floor, right? You just, this building which I'm staying, which Chandresh is staying, how many floors? कितने माले का बिल्डिंग? 20 माले का बिल्डिंग. तो अगर हम लिफ्ट में जाएंगे, बटन दबा लेंगे, 20th माले पे जाएंगे. Doesn't work like this with modes हवा. कि अचानक भगवत गीता का क्लास अटेंड कर लिया संडे को, रोज जाके आज लेक्चर दे रही है, तो 1 घंटे में हम तीनों मोड से ऊपर चले जाए, नहीं होगा. It has to be gradual. It has to, just cannot do it. So gradually as we move, then even when we go about 3 modes, Sri Krishna says, Arjuna, you have to work for me. Right? And see, let's say example of modern life. Prabhupada, Swami Prabhupada, ISKCON founder, he was beyond 3 modes, but he still was working. He went to America at the age of 69 years, opened a center, preached, traveled 14 times all around the globe. He was working. But his work was purely for Krishna, right? He was totally guided. So work, we just cannot do anything in this world without being active. So that action has to be properly guided by proper authority. And then even the passion or ignorance or goodness, even goodness is binding. All 3 can be engaged. Krishna service and we can rise about gradually. Is that okay?
Yes,
Great.
Prabhuji.
Any other questions? We have 5 minutes more to go, so I will not take any purport. Any questions, any comments, any corrections?
No, Prabhuji, that was fine.
Yes, Abhishek ji, anything from your side? Abhishek Kumar,
नहीं प्रभु जी.
thank you. So there are 2 Abhishek here. I just saw. There's one Abhishek Kumar and one Abhishek.
Agarwal.
Yeah.
मैं बस वो विंडो के से पढ़ रहा हूँ. अभिषेक पहला लिखा हूँ. Okay, we have Anuj also here. Anuj, you want to add something to it?
No, Prabhuji.
Anuj,
Yeah, I asked my question.
thank you. Pratik?
No, Prabhuji, no question.
Okay.
आपके
प्रतीश
पास
नायक,
कितना टाइम है प्रभु जी, उस हिसाब से पूछ सकते हैं.
मेरे पास सिर्फ 4.5 मिनट है.
Am I
एक
audible?
दूसरा सेशन. यस यस.
Prabhuji is on a very tight schedule. Actually, at 7:30, 7:35, he has to go to Punjari temple where he's going to give Bhagavatam class. So, like you can see, right, he's very much wanted all over the place. Like everybody is requesting him.
I came to Pune after pandemic, so that 3-4 years did not come to Pune. So today is Sunday also. So this program was fixed for early only, but then the next program I could not refuse. because I stayed in temple, so they told me to.
प्रभु जी, मेरा एक ये प्रश्न है कि जैसे विदुर थे और अपने अर्जुन को भी ज्ञान हुआ, भगवान कृष्ण भगवान साक्षात उनको गीता ज्ञान दिया, तो उसके बाद उनको ज्ञान तो हुआ ही हुआ कि ही इज द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड। फिर उसके बाद मतलब किसी और चीज की चाह उनको कैसे रही? मतलब आई नो वो वानप्रस्थ चले गए, फिर उन्होंने परीक्षित महाराज ने अपना ये सब किया। जब भगवान उस धरती पे हैं तो अदर देन उनके सानिध्य में समय बिताने के अलावा उनके पास और कोई चाह कैसे थी? या is there a way that we can explain this thing? क्योंकि हमारा तो मेन वही है कि हम चाह रहे हैं कि भगवान का सानिध्य मिले, राइट, भगवान का धाम मिले।
तो भगवान का सानिध्य मिलने से ऐसे नहीं कि भौतिक दुनिया से हमारा अट्रैक्शन कम हो जाएगा, हमारा इंटरेस्ट कम हो जाएगा। नो, we'll be continuing what we are doing, but we'll be doing in a better way, in a right way. That is the one thing. That, like for example, भगवद गीता में लिखा ना कि जनक महाराज भी पूरी तरह से तीनों मोड से परे थे, but he still was acting as a king. जो एक अच्छा कथा बोलता हूँ कि जनक महाराज कथा में, जनकपुर जब नेपाल में गया था वहां था, तो जनक महाराज was a king, but he was a great soul, pure devotee of Lord Ramachandra. But because he was king, everyone thought उसमें क्या है, he भी king है, दूसरा भी king है, वो भी king है, इतने सारे king है, तो उसमें क्या है? Because as a king he was believing everything. So one day there was a Bhagavad Katha arranged in the Janakpur, and the Bhagavad Katha, a great devotee was speaking. But he would wait till Janak Maharaj would come and sit, and everyone had to wait. So people were thinking that why should we wait? Bhagavad Gita chalu hona chahiye. Why he is waiting for that guy? This is not good. So people had questions in their mind, but they did not ask that question. But the Bhagavad Gita could understand. People thinking why we should wait for Janak Maharaj. Janak Maharaj, so एक like us, हमारे ऐसे आदमी और क्या. So to make everyone understand, the external से दिखाने चाहिए, internal के आदमी का जो ना mood होता है, उसका internal उसका heart होता है. So then what happened is one day while the Bhagavad Gita was going on and everyone was sitting, this Bhagavad Gita got arranged for a rumor to spread. So someone came and said, hey, जनकपुर के इस नगर में आग लग गई, सबके घर आग में, आग से पूरा लपेट में आ गया, सब भाग रहे हैं। तो काफी जो आए थे उस भागवत कथा में, they had houses in that particular area. As soon as they heard the rumor, they all got up from the Bhagavad Gita and they ran to check, Harimanagal will get you Bhagavad. And so the rumor came in the ears of Janak Maharaj, and he also heard that his palace also was affected. But Janak Maharaj sat there. He was not affected by this. He sat there, and the Bhagavad Gita was kept on speaking the Bhagavad Gita, and the only person hearing was Janak Maharaj. Everyone ran away to check what happened to the home. And they realized that it was a rumor. They came back and said, but this was Janak Maharaj sitting there, even though he heard the rumor. Kathakar said, see, so externally Janak Maharaj looks like all of it. But you see, when it comes to Krishna, how he's totally depending on Krishna. And he's thinking that I'm so much connected to Krishna. Krishna is there, I am with Krishna. Krishna always protects whatever I have. So this point I'm trying to reiterate here that ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ हम भक्ति में आगे बढ़ेंगे तो हमारे सब चाह निकल जाएगी, नहीं, हम सब कर सकते हैं। हमारे साथ में हमारा परिवार होगा, हमारा वर्क होगा, हमारा प्रमोशन होगा, सब कुछ होगा। सब कुछ करते करते हमारे पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ यही नहीं होगा कि हमें इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में रहना है। पर्पस ऑफ लाइफ होगा हमारे इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में हमें भगवान की सेवा करना, और भगवान की सेवा करते करते ये भी कार्य करना। जिस तरह से अगर भगवान को भोग लगाना है तो भोग लगाने के पहले बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कार्य करना पड़ता है, मटेरियल एक्टिविटी। सब्जी परचेस करना पड़ता है। सब्जी परचेस करने के लिए मार्केट में आते तो बार्गेन करना पड़ता है। अरे ये 10 रुपए तो 5 रुपए का दो। This is part of life. So bargaining in the foods. Then you have to cook in the kitchen, cut vegetables and cook. गैस चाहिए, उसके लिए इंग्रेडिएंट्स चाहिए, छौंक लगाना पड़ता है, छौंक मारेंगे तो खांसी आती है, एग्जॉस्ट फैन चालू करना पड़ता है। All that external factors are there. And eventually, so everyone is doing what you are doing. but everyone is cooking for themselves. But you are cooking for offering it to the Lord, and then you eat. So that makes a difference. Okay, Ambuj.
हाँ जी.
Thank you for having me with all of you. Nice. Maybe some other time I will join from my temple, and then we can continue.
Thank you, Prabhuji, from our side also.
Thank you for joining. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
You
Thank you,
gave
Prabhuji.
us
Hare Krishna.
you gave us the soap in the morning to bathe and cleanse our mind.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I think Prabhuji is planning to leave now. No, Prabhuji, I'll come. So, Shashi, Hare Krishna, Shashi is there?
हाँ हाँ बोलो.
Just तुम लोग आगे पढ़ना चाहते हो? You can continue next verses, or how will we do? Or will we close? Whatever you say.
We'll close and we'll meet next Sunday.
Okay, chalo, we'll close it. They're saying we'll close. Okay, so we'll again on behalf of everyone, Prabhuji, thank you so much for coming and taking the time.
But can we request Baldev Prabhu to join regularly? I mean, from Mumbai itself.
So Shashi is saying that he's requesting if you can join on a more regular basis from Chapati or wherever you are, because we are anyways online.
Try Sunday morning is tough, but I'll do it.
Okay,
We
so
we can come on Saturday also, or any other day whenever he's.
Yeah, we can actually, we are flexible, Guruji. So as per your availability, we can do Saturday, Sunday, either day.
That's good. So I'll just think about it.
Yeah.
I'll surely join all of you.
Hare Krishna.
I will surely join all of you, and we're happy to join. We can have more
Thank you.
question and answer also. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna.
joining.
Hare
today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.